A promise forged in grief. The call to fly. Jerry Lawson was just a young man from Exeter, Ontario, when the world went to war, and like so many of his generation, he felt a pull, a duty. The news from Europe was grim, and the call for volunteers was constant. For Jerry, the decision to enlist became deeply personal. His older brother, Orville, had already joined the Royal Canadian Air Force and was serving overseas. The bond between brothers is a powerful thing. Orville was a hero to Jerry. The thought of his brother in danger weighed heavily. Then the news every family dreaded arrived. Orville's plane had been lost. The official words were cold and final. Grief can break a person, or harden their will into something unbreakable. For Jerry, the loss of his brother was a turning point. It was no longer just a distant war, it was personal. "I thought I had to go," he would later recall. After completing his training in Canada, Jerry made the long journey across the Atlantic to England. He was assigned to Number 76 Squadron, a unit flying the formidable Handley Page Halifax bomber. The squadron was based at RAF Home on Spalding Moor in Yorkshire, a place that became home and launch point into hostile skies. The airbase was a city of its own. Ground crews, navigators, gunners, pilots, young men from across the Commonwealth, Canadians, Australians, Britons, all together, their fears and hopes mingling with the roar of powerful engines. Life mixed routine with nervous anticipation, briefings, aircraft checks, practice runs, and the knowledge of what the nights could bring. Bomber Command's strategy was to cripple Germany's industrial heart. The odds of completing a full tour of 30 missions were slim, hanging in the air like the Yorkshire fog. Jerry's first missions took him into the Ruhr Valley, Germany's industrial engine, factories, coal mines, synthetic oil plants, and some of the most dangerous skies of the war. Flak exploded in deadly black puffs. Searchlights crisscrossed, trying to lock a bomber for the guns below. And in the dark, the Luftwaffe's night fighters waited. The mission list read like a roll call of industry. Jülich, Münster, Duisburg, Soest. Each flight was a trial by fire. Each man trusted the others with his life. The navigator guided them through the dark. The bomb aimer waited for the perfect release, and the gunners searched for any sign of an enemy fighter. On the final approach, they had to fly straight and level, predictable targets under a wall of fire. As 1944 turned into 1945, Bomber Command shifted its strategy. Industry stayed a priority, but the focus moved to transport, paralyzing movement by destroying marshalling yards. Missions 8 through 15 took Jerry and his crew deep into Germany. Winter was unforgiving. Thick cloud, freezing temperatures, ice forming on the Halifax's wings. Targets like Hanover, Hanau, Saarbrücken, Stuttgart. Navigating in winter was a nightmare, entirely on instruments and calculations. For the bomb aimer, it meant the difference between a precise strike and dropping blindly into the dark. Sometimes they circled for what felt like an eternity, waiting for a fleeting break to identify the target. All the while, flak and night fighters pressed in. Even under relentless pressure, moments of humanity and humor broke through. As pilot and captain, Jerry felt immense responsibility. He recalled fear, an engine sputtering, or cannon fire slicing past the wing. On one mission, ice built dangerously, threatening a spin. Jerry wrestled aching muscles to keep her stable. They dropped to a lower, warmer altitude, and the ice let go. By the 15th mission, they were seasoned, hardened, and keenly aware how lucky they'd been. By the spring of 1945, the end of the war was in sight. But the fighting was far from over. Missions 16 through 28 were among the most intense and destructive of the war. Bomber Command threw its full weight to break the last resistance. Targets were a mix of industrial centers, oil refineries, and cities that had so far escaped the worst. German defenses, desperate now, fought with ferocious intensity. A massive raid struck Cologne, a city already battered, to shatter what morale and infrastructure remained. They flew into a sky lit by fires. Smoke and chaos blurred the aiming point. Chemnitz required a long, perilous flight. These missions pushed fuel reserves and their nerves to the limit. A critical target was the oil refinery at Hemmingstedt. Fuel was the lifeblood of the German army. The raid was met with a storm of flak. Jerry threw the Halifax into sharp, evasive moves while keeping a bombing run viable. Being coned by searchlights turned them into a perfect glowing target for every gun. A penultimate daylight mission to Hamburg offered better accuracy and exposed them to enemy fighters. The gunners were on edge, eyes hunting a canopy's glint. They made the target, dropped, and turned for home. 28, just 2 more to complete their tour. On April 25th, 1945, Jerry Lawson and his crew prepared for their 29th mission. The target, German coastal guns on the Frisian island of Wangerooge, a threat to Allied shipping. The briefing warned of potential bad weather, but the mission would go ahead. It was a daylight raid. Hundreds of bombers were assigned. As the formation neared the coast, they flew into a dense bank of fog. Visibility dropped to almost zero. A crowded sky, a recipe for disaster. Flying blind with heavy aircraft mere feet away was terrifying. Suddenly, chaos erupted. Another Halifax, lost in the fog, collided with Jerry's aircraft. The impact was catastrophic. The other plane was torn apart. Jerry's Halifax was critically damaged, its tail shattered, controls severed. The bomber plunged toward the sea. Training and instinct took over. With the aircraft in a death spiral, he gave the one order no pilot wants: bail out, bail out. Pinned by the spin, they fought their way to the hatches. One by one, they leapt into the void. Jerry left last, ensuring his men were out before he pulled the ripcord. His chute snapped open above the wreck. He alone survived the crash in the cold North Sea. No other crewmates surfaced. He drifted toward land, exhausted and numb. He washed ashore and was captured by German troops. Escorted through the bombed town, angry citizens hurled fruit and vegetables. When one raised a brick, his Nazi guards shielded their prisoner. The Germany around them was collapsing, society in tatters, food scarce, chaos everywhere. Training, camaraderie, and quiet acts of care helped them endure. Liberation brought an overwhelming surge of relief they would never forget. After medical care, they began the long journey home. For Jerry, that meant Canada, Exeter, Ontario, a peaceful world away from the fire and chaos. He was embraced by family. Joy was immense, tinged with the sadness of those who did not return, including his brother. More than 55,000 from Bomber Command were lost. In Exeter, the cenotaph bears Orville's name, a reminder that behind statistics are human lives. After the war, Jerry Lawson returned to a quiet life, far from the roar of bomber engines. He married, raised a family, and became part of his community. Like many veterans, he did not speak often. That chapter was closed, but its lessons and losses were never forgotten. He had done his duty and sought the peace he and so many had fought for. The legacy of Bomber Command is complex, a crucial campaign at a staggering cost. For every survivor like Jerry, many more did not return. Their names are etched on memorials across the Commonwealth. Not just aircraft, not just targets. A young man driven by the loss of his brother, a crew that became a family, the will to survive. His 29 missions were 29 journeys into darkness, each a gamble with fate. He survived through skill, courage, and no small amount of luck. His life after, of peace, family, and community, was the ultimate victory. He flew into hell and came home, carrying the memory of all who did not. His story, and those of all who served in Bomber Command, honor a generation's immense sacrifice. Behind grand strategies and dates lie personal journeys. Jerry's quiet life was a testament to hope, a long, peaceful final chapter to a story forged in the fires of war.